again.
We do.
Oh boy.
Let's see if that works. Is that?
How's that?
And of course, we're on a delay, so we're not going to know right away if we get the sound.
They're still saying no sound.
Oh boy.
Yes, we were good yesterday. We had
I know.
no sound problems with our new setup. Oh, here we go. We have sound.
Oh, Kenny said yes.
How's that?
Oh.
All right. Sorry about that.
See, and I heard it on up. Oh no.
No, we heard the music.
I heard the music.
We heard the music. Well, so see, welcome to.
We'll do it again.
From Inside Raps Country Lanes, episode 28. You know, we were good yesterday with our new setup. I'm starting to hate this setup because I'm not used to it. We were running so smoothly. We had it all figured out.
Darn screwball.
And that darn screwball got me all messed up and ruined my laptop. But we're going to make do. We're going to figure it out. Well, we were saying, since you couldn't hear us, welcome. We welcome Joe back to the studio with
our illustrious co-host.
Illustrious, must be the weekend. Thank you. So I'm back. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody that's telling us you can hear us now. I'm glad. If you can't hear us by now, that means you need to turn your hearing aids up or your speakers up or something. And now we might know the problem we were having. We had our guests in the green room, and they couldn't hear us. So I'm hoping that they can hear us now. And we should be good to go when we bring our illustrious guest. Leslie is shaking her head, so we're in good shape.
All right.
Awesome. Good. Well, welcome back. We, Naz, this is day 33.
33.
Double tree.
Wow. 33 long
33
days.
Wow.
Some longer than others.
That's how old I am now. That's my age.
Oh,
really?
Yes. I'm almost double that.
I'm Switzerland right now. I'm staying neutral.
Well, Joe, welcome back to the studio.
Thank you.
How was your week?
The week was the week that was. It was a busy week working from home. I got to tell you, I like not commuting. I like saving on my dry cleaning, working in my basement, but it was busy. You know, working in television, again, with the news being what it is, with all the stuff that's going on. And with all the different shows that we have to change, like tonight we were just talking about One World is going to air tonight on all the major networks. We had to set that up. We had to book a separate room to take that feed in earlier today around 10 o'clock. And now we have some of our guys and gals back at the studio editing it down to play back to air tonight.
So is that because it is the 3 networks?
It's a lot of networks tonight.
Make it more clunky for you guys, or is it pretty much everybody doing their thing?
No, I mean, we have our set, how we're going to take it in, and every other network, I guess, might have the same type of way that they're taking it in. It could be a little bit different, but it's up to the individual network, but it's the same show that's going to air.
Oh, okay.
So,
that was my other question.
Everyone's airing the same show.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool. And I will say ABC and Disney have been a little creative. They had to sing along.
They had to sing along the other night. Yeah.
They've been streaming. I get all the emails for the Broadway shows that are streaming. And so I know they were doing some of the Disney productions.
Yes.
You could stream it, pull it up, but then it disappears, so you can't save it. Or
No.
Which makes sense.
They're not going to give you a chance to save that stuff. Believe me, the gremlins are at work hard to get that down quick.
Well, listen, you have to experience the theater, and I hope that when the theater does come back, it makes people want to go.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it will.
Keith Wunderlich showed a video the other night of him and his family watching Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
He goes, I took my wife to the theater. That's the poor Kim. That might be the closest she gets to actually going to the
I got to talk to that kid. When this is over, he's got to take his wife out. Go to a theater.
And you know what's funny? You talk about dry cleaning, and Joe might be watching, and Joe, I love you dearly, and I have dropped off a little dry cleaning, but I've saved a few pennies.
That's it.
On the show with you and Joe, if you remember, I don't know if it was my last interview last season. Joe had asked, "Do I have anything other than my work here?" And look, I think I've proven that. I've been very comfortable. This is abnormal. I don't know what to do with myself.
Every day's dress down, guy.
But I try to mix it up because I don't want to. You can't get into the rut of. We could easily get in the rut of just wearing sweatshirts.
Oh, of course.
Sweatpants. Of course. Or pajamas.
Yes.
I've been tempted to wear my pajama pants, but
not in public.
I haven't.
Not exactly.
I can't. I just can't do it.
Yeah. Kids, teenagers, that's one thing. It's not. No.
You can't wear that outside. It kind of gives you I gave up
Yes.
You can't, it's like the Costanza. Again with the sweatpants? When Jerry said again with the sweatpants, you're telling life you're giving up. So you just can't do that. You know, I mean,
I started watching. Now I've watched every Seinfeld episode from one several times, and I just threw the DVD. I actually have them on DVD, and I threw the DVD in the other night. So late at night, I mean, it doesn't get old.
No, everything in life pertains to a Seinfeld episode. It's real, true life.
Well, and what got me into that is that last week we had the show on Tuesday.
Show about nothing.
And so we went, and I had to go now watch the true show about nothing. Oh. Well, we have a great show today.
Yes, we do.
It's Naz. What is today?
Today is Saturday, and that means that it is Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer Saturday.
Yes, that's right.
And in some cases, that's extra guests.
Yeah, we've been super lucky.
Yes.
We've had families and
Yes.
kids, and
We've had kids, all different types of
we've
kids.
had kids, all kinds of. Yeah, we love that.
Climbing on mommy's lap, yelling at mommy.
Yes.
But it's been fun. So, hey, so today we have our friends, Leslie and Parker Bohn, the third, with us today. We're going to, if I do it right, because I'm still learning, we're going to bring in and look at that. I got it. Hey! He does have
Yay! We're here.
Hello, everybody.
Saturday. Happy Saturday.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
You just told us you can.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. Well, happy Saturday, and thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you taking some time away from your kids to join us, although they're really close, so I'm sure they're not really far.
Yeah, they're not losing sleep over it. Trust me.
So, how are you guys? How are you guys doing? How are we holding up in the Bohn residence?
We are holding up pretty well. We have enjoyed being together. This is clearly by far the longest time that the five of us have been together. Typically, it's just four of us, but we have Dad to join us. Well, yeah, he's home now for the last. Actually, it'll be 5 weeks tomorrow that we've all been home together. So we've embraced a few TV shows, some Netflix series, catching up on some high school musicals with Sydney, and really just enjoying the time that we have together.
Nice. Parker, you're home for 5 weeks straight. What does that feel like? Do you even know what that is? What that feels like?
Upside down, inside out, left, right. I haven't quite figured that all out yet. This is the longest stretch that I've been home since I started the PBA tour back in '85.
Wow.
I mean, bluntly, I have not gone anywhere other than a grocery store or maybe our local Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yeah, we could see it. You got this great beard growing.
Hey, you like that?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
I do like it.
I figured I didn't need to shave to sit around my house with four walls.
What do you think?
And I love it. I think I said that the other day, and I even made the comment when you guys were live, and then you did the video where Sydney gave you a haircut. Are you traumatized still by that?
Yeah. Somehow I realized I wasn't bleeding anywhere, so that was a good thing.
Yeah.
So I know you tuned in this past week when we had your sister and brother-in-law on the show, and there was a question relative to competition.
Yeah.
Putting the Bohns and the Kents on the lane. I'm going to give you an opportunity to go back to that and answer that question. So the Bohns and the Kents bowl against each other. Who wins?
Best of seven.
Best of seven, right?
It's a best of seven.
Who wins? Hey, as long as Doug is giving me 20 pins handicap a game, I'm all for
it. Chrissy's watching. So Chrissy, make note. You got that?
And as long as Doug can give me up a rush service made Jeff, I'll be great too.
He may not do that before we bowl.
Maybe not. Might depend who does the lanes that day.
All right, well, we'll find a neutral location.
We'll need somebody neutral. So, Patrick, are you available?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love that.
Sure, we can do the play-by-play.
Well, we need to make that happen. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Chrissy said she's in.
All right.
Yeah,
there you
she's
go.
always game.
There you go.
Chrissy's always game for not being home.
Yeah, the key would be getting her to meet the three of our schedules.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can't imagine. Especially, although now is like the best time. Everybody can do it. We're quarantining, so you probably don't want them visiting right now. So let's keep everybody in place where they are. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how so the kids? There's a lot happening. So the boys in Sydney. There's a lot happening with bowling, junior gold, high school. Everything kind of crashing down on them, so to speak. How are they getting through this?
I think the kids are doing fairly well. We were able to finish our state tournament at Howell Lanes. We had completed one weekend, and when everything really came to a head, my state second weekend of the state tournament, we made the call. USBC board, New Jersey State Bowling Association went ahead and made the call with our limited number of competitors that would be in the bowling center to go ahead and complete that weekend. We feel very fortunate that we were able to finish the New Jersey State Youth Tournament. And then on Monday for our kids, they started their online schooling. So they have about 3 weeks of online schooling prior to spring break, which we're just finishing spring break. And so far things have gone really well. I must admit, for Justin, it's been a bit disappointing. We celebrated his 17th birthday in quarantine, tried to make the best of it. He missed out on one of his college visits to Wichita State, which is certainly disappointing for him, but nonetheless, we will simply reschedule that for the fall, and it'll just be postponed until then. I think the other two are doing well. They're catching up certainly on movies and TV shows, and all of this technology that they have at their hands that we didn't have when we were kids is definitely keeping them connected with those who they would typically be spending many of their weekends with on the lanes. We're just doing it off the lanes this time.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, in the real world, as we all know it, there's bigger things that you can cry about. And as much as it's a major threshold for all three of them, let's be honest, it's really a tiny fly in the big picture.
Yeah. It's hard to make kids understand that somehow because things are so important to them immediately. But I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, well, we're all, you know, it doesn't matter what your livelihood, what you're doing, but everybody is affected by it. You know, I tried to explain to the kids the other day that our good close friend, the Foreys, their son Christian is 6 years old. You know, trying to explain to him, go, mommy or daddy, take him to the ice cream store, that he can't do that. So he can't go down and get an ice cream cone right now. And that's no different than the 8 or 10-year-old that wants to play with his friend who lives right next door across the street. Turns into the teenagers, which also ultimately turns into all of us as adults. So,
yeah, and it's not just the teenagers. The seniors, I think the seniors are probably feeling it more. Senior citizens, that is, that can't get out and do their thing.
They can't bowl.
They can't bowl.
bowl.
So used to having so much time, a lot of time to do nothing, and to have all the time in the world to do absolutely everything and everything. Parker, are you embracing your new role as teacher?
Let me say I'm trying to do my best. Okay, I don't ever want to have a teacher's job, that's for sure. But you know, trying to relive some of those moments when one of my sons pulls up, you know, something to do with math, and I look at him and go, "This looks archaic to me." The last time I did that was 40 years ago. So I'm trying to go along with the flow that way.
That's a good way to handle it.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, no, that's a good way because I got to tell you, the homework today, I'm like, just take the book back or talk to your mother. There's no way I can help you with that. No way. Can't.
With you.
We've been very fortunate. I know in our school district, they have worked effortless, tirelessly to provide the kids the online resources that they need to stay as closely connected to each one of their classes. Their counselors have been in touch with them. I know they're spending, doing what they need to do to complete their assignments. Some of the classes have used Zoom to connect with the kids during their class times. And I have to be honest, kudos to them and a shout out to all of them to keep the normalcy of a school day intact for many of our kids. So I'm thankful that they're all in high school. I feel blessed that they're all great students and have the resources at their fingertips to be able to reach out to those that they need to help them with whatever questions they have, and we'll help them as much as we can. So we're simply just trying to make the home front a little bit more fun and add home ec to their subjects for all three of them. So we had all three of them in the kitchen than normal.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. You know what? We have one left in high school. She's a high school junior, and she got marked absent the other day. How does that happen? She got marked absent for a class. You know what? And she slept late. I didn't know she was still. I thought she was up. She was asleep. The email came absent for her class. I said to my wife, only us can have a high school junior marked absent learning from home. That's on us. We have to make sure she's awake. But what are you going to do? So, right? I mean, you can't make it up. So
hopefully it was excused.
We had to make some nice with some people, and it's now water under the bridge now. So Leslie, you've been coaching for a number of, I don't want to say how many years now, but it's been a while, right? So how do you deal with, because there's always one parent. How do you deal with that one parent that always seems to want to help their child, but the way that they're trying to help them, they're actually hurting them more? So, there's always that one parent that every time their child has an open or throws a split, they're calling them in the back, they're waving them. And how do you work with that? How do you offset to help that poor child? Because they're trying to listen to what you're telling them, but at the same time, they're trying to listen to mom and dad. So how do you overcome that?
Well, I will certainly answer that question, but I have to share a quick memory. That actually, as you were describing that, reminded me so much of my freshman year in college at Wichita State. For a number of years, my dad and mom had provided us the opportunity to travel to youth tournaments. And my dad, and when we were at my coach, and he was extra to help me out and all that. I cannot leave Miss Fair. Turning around and seeing my dad being disappointed was like the worst. I never wanted to disappoint him. But with kids today, I simply just try to share with them the importance of just simply giving it their best and telling and encouraging parents to keep it very simple and to be a cheerleader.
Right.
Many parents will graciously admit that they don't have the knowledge that some of us have that we're trying to share with their children, and quickly realize that it's just best to support them and be encouraging and provide them the things they need to. So I've been pretty blessed. I have a lot of great parents around that are supportive, and it's been such a great journey. And I will tell you, the very first person I coached was Sarah Florence. Sarah Florence bowled, I believe she is a junior now in college. She bowled out in New York, and now she's transferred out to Ohio, and she's actually the first person, or the first bowler that I started coaching this amazing, I guess, career.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What would you tell some of the youth bowlers now, because they can't bowl? What would you tell them to try to help their mind and keep their mental game going? What kind of advice would you give them?
That's a great question. I actually was sitting at the dinner table just the other night, and we were talking to the three kids. If there was one thing that they could all change in their game that they didn't like when they were currently bowling, that's something that they always wanted to change, And 2 of the 3 kids said their mental game. And I said, now would be a great opportunity to pick up, tune into a podcast, pick up a great mental game book, pick up something that you can read 20 to 30 minutes a day to help sharpen your mind and think about, more positive moments in your career. We haven't missed a spare in 5 weeks, right? We made great shots, and we clearly haven't missed a spare. So my best piece of advice was to pick up a book or listen to a podcast about some other athletes and different tools and techniques that they use to sharpen their mental game.
Yeah, I believe that that's pretty much what Norm said, to take your weaknesses and try to make them your strengths now. Yeah. So, that's great advice. Yeah, great advice. That's very good advice.
Sure. Guys, I'm going to go back to your original question a minute ago when it came to parents, looking at their kids if they, make an unfortunate shot or miss an unfortunate spare in a certain situation. I'm a real big person when I'm trying to give lessons on analogies. And I want you to think about this one. Over the last 25 years, there's been 2 players, not one, players that missed the easiest spare in bowling, a 5-pin on national TV. Now, if you take players of that significance that's been through everything, thick and thin, and miss a 5-pin at that moment in time, and now I'm going to look at them just like I look at your own job. If you're working the desk, you turn on the wrong lane by accident. Somebody asks for change, you give them the wrong change by accident. It's an honest mistake. I'm certain those kids, boys or girls, younger or older, did not want to throw that bad shot or miss that spare at any given time.
Right.
It happens.
Yeah, that's right, for sure. You know what? It's funny you mentioned that, Parker, because the last time I missed the 5-pin was at the Nationals. I shouldn't say that. I missed the 5-pin at the Nationals in Vegas in 2009. Again, right? So my friend talked me hard about that for quite a while. So we went to Nationals in Syracuse, Frankie. Right? Was it last summer?
Sure. Yep. It happens.
Yep. And I left the 5-pin. And as I'm picking up my ball, I said, the last time I missed the 5-pin was at Nationals. At Nationals again. Leg the 5-pin. You're right. Yep.
It's in your head.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So Parker, one of the best of all time.
Change your mindset.
It
just takes how many years in between that.
Yeah.
Mindset matters, Joe.
Yeah, the mind's a powerful thing. Mine, I don't know, but it's a powerful thing. So Parker, one of the best of all time, 35 titles, countless perfect games. There's one title though that, and I'm taking a guess here, if there's one title that you wanted to win, was it the Firestone, TOC? Was that one that back at it?
Yeah, that was a dream. It's funny you mentioned that. Telling you a real quick version of it. I dreamt twice as a kid when I was a teenager that I needed a strike to win the Firestone Tournament of Champions. And my ball was off my hand. It went through my target, and I was so excited I woke up from my dream. I never knew if I struck or not. So lo and behold, this is way before I went out on tour. So lo and behold, I go out on tour. Fortunately, I qualified for the Tournament of Champions. About my 6th or 7th Tournament of Champions, I make the TV show. We go to a big breakfast that morning, and at the breakfast, the gentleman from Firestone, the CEO, makes the announcement, unfortunately, this is our last year sponsoring the Firestone Tournament of Champions. I immediately turned around to my mom at that moment, and I said, I don't know how, but I will bowl for the title today, and I'm going to need a strike to win. And she goes, what? And I said, yes, just trust me on that. And I did tell one of the reporters that was a close friend of mine before we went on the show that would happen. Somehow I bowled 260, 250 the first 2 games, and I'm bowling George Branham for the title. Lo and behold, if you want to go, I get up in the 10th frame, I need a strike to win the Tournament of Champions. No, unfortunately, I left a 6-pin, but as I was picking my ball up from the ball return, I will tell you, folks, right in my head, I replayed. I said, I'm going to find out right now whether I strike or not.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was 1993. If memory serves me right, I think that was it. You and George Brown. That might be the only time ever that the third bowled against the third in a championship.
Unfortunately, in my book, the wrong third came away glorious.
Yeah, I know. But you're right. I definitely. I said that's one tournament that looking up all of your wins, I'm like, wow, Parkin. And again, you had a great career, but I'm like, never won the Firestone. That's unbelievable. So, who was the one person? Because we've been asking all of your colleagues this, all the other pros. Who was the one pro bowler that was the proverbial pebble in your shoe? That when you bowled him, you're like, oh no, it's him again, because he just wouldn't get out of the way. He was always there, right with you.
Leslie's laughing like she knows the answer to that one.
Proverbial.
Yeah.
Well, because I got the same answer all the time. It was always Mike Albee. It did, and we're really good friends, guys.
Right.
But it did not matter what I did, no matter what. If he could get up and strike out a 10th frame to me by 1 pin,
Yeah. Wow.
I was ready, packing up my stuff, moving on.
Call it a day. All right. Yep.
Okay. It was only highly creative to catch myself. I could not beat Mike. Mike could not beat Jason. And unfortunately for Jason, he could not.
But when Mike's on the show next week, we're gonna have to ask him that question.
We'll have to ask
and
him
then
about
even
it.
flip the question: who's the guy that you always beat?
Yeah, maybe. Well, unless he says Papa was, maybe he'd say he's the pebble in his shoe. I
I
don't
got
know.
drunk endlessly.
I don't know.
So, who officially coaches your children?
Wait a minute. Let me ask the neighbor. Yeah, let's put it this way. They listen to us. Actually, I'm going to back up. Our children are like every other child in America.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
They listen to us when they choose to listen to us. Okay? It doesn't matter what Leslie or myself have accomplished on the lanes. At any given moment, when they're ready for what we have to say, they will open their ears.
Right.
And if they don't want to hear what we have to tell them for advice, well, needless to say, they've got roadblocks up, and we just look at them and go have a good time.
That's
What
not,
else can you say?
right. That's not always an easy road to navigate with kids and coaching them, and then coaching other kids. So, it sometimes gets a little tangled, and, sometimes kids' feelings get hurt. So I just knew that you guys probably have a very good way of handling it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll give you another scenario. One of my older sons, in the year 2000, I was named PBA Player of the Year. I just finished writing an instructional book. Things couldn't be better for me personally. I go down to the bowling center one day, and my son is 9 years old, and he's bowling. And I look up at the score screen, and he has a bunch of gutter balls. So I go to walk forward to give him a piece of advice. And as I start to say something, he puts his hand up and stands on the back of the approach and goes, "Dad, what do you think you know? You don't know what you're talking about." And for a split second, I got steam coming out of my ears. I take 2 steps forward and shrug my hand and go, "Yeah, you're right. Go have fun," and I walk away. Because, folks, you need to understand, as parents, we always want the best for our kids. But when our kids are willing and ready to learn, they're going to seek your help and look for it. Until that point, please don't push them away from something that they appear that they like or love to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good answer.
That's a good
Good
answer.
answer.
Yep, that's tough for some parents, though.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It
It's
is.
complicated.
Hey, Joe, you brought a piece of show and tell with you today.
Oh, yes, I did.
How about you share the? Let's share the piece of show and
Put it
tell.
up, sure.
This is a picture of you and Parker.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the
I love it.
what we were trying to think of what year that was when the pros came and did a clinic.
Okay,
Parker was here, Norm Duke, Ryan Voss. Trying to think, weren't Carolyn Ballard was here? Carolyn Dalton Ballard was here.
Mike Pachuga.
Yeah, it might have been 2010, like that.
The flopped on the cake.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's somewhere around 2008, 9, or 10 there.
yeah, it was somewhere that was in there. And that night, during the night when we were having some adult beverages in the
Careful
bar,
with the stories.
I'm not keeping it clean. It's a family show. But Brian started calling you Joe and calling me Parker because we kind of look alike there. So I don't know if Brian was just trying to be a wise guy or maybe had a little too much to drink, but he was calling you Joe and he was calling me Parker.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Well, let's just say that he was enjoying the moment.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, there is the funny story though that I guess I'm gonna have to tell now from the Pro-Am.
Oh.
It always goes back to the Pro-Ams at Carolia. So this had to be around maybe that same time, 2010, 2011. And me and my friends we usually went with a big group of guys, and we're down on the lanes, getting our shoes on, putting our balls down on the rack. And this young man, about maybe 13, comes over to me with the program that he has opened up, and he has it opened up to the autograph page. And he says, "Parker, could you sign for me, please?" And I said to him, I'm not him. He goes, "Oh, come on, please." So once all my buddies heard that, that's all they had to hear. They're like, "Come on, Parker, sign for him. What's wrong with you? Sign for him. Don't be like that." I said, "I'm not him." "No, come on, please sign." So I took his pen. I didn't want to let him down. So I said, "Can I have your name?" I don't remember what his name was. I put to Eric, all the best, Joe Calandillo. P.S. I told you I'm not Parker Bohn III. I signed it for him. And he looked at me. I went, "I told you." I think he finally walked down about another 10 lanes down. You were there, and then he went and he got you signed. So we have that kinetic connection there.
Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, for Parker, it's a bad thing to be like me. For me, it's a good thing to be like him. So.
So you were the one that threw me under the bus that day.
It was me. Guilty as charged. It was me. Yep.
Nobody has to throw you under the bus because I mean there aren't many guys that are as nice as you. Truly one of the best ambassadors for our sport.
Definitely.
I don't think Parker. I don't know. Have you ever really said no? I don't think no is in your book.
Ask Leslie.
I'm not getting in the middle of that. I'm just in general.
I didn't see that. That would be.
He will always be the last one out of the bowling center, the last one out of a pro-am, the last one to leave the tournament. It's definitely an amazing characteristic, and through the years, it's brought us back so many scenes and so many wonderful memories. It's countless.
Yep.
And I'm sure many fights too. Come on, let's go.
I can remember back to 9/11. I remember back to 9/11, and we wanted to do something here afterwards. And the first person we reached out to was Parker, and his immediate response was, "Whatever you need me to do." And he has always been that way, always with us, and we always appreciated that too.
Sure.
Well, let me tell you something. Everybody in Staten Island and the surrounding area certainly knows what you guys offer to the sport of bowling. And I'll say we're all in this together, obviously with everything going on over the last 5 or 6 weeks here. But I'm going to go in our sport, regardless whether you're on TV, if you're the person coaching in the back, the owner, proprietor, manager of the bowling center. What you guys bring to the table makes bowling on the forefront in Staten Island and the surrounding area for sure.
Well, thank you. That's very, very nice. Very nice.
So you brought up the Firestone, but saying he didn't dig into what you were getting there.
Yeah.
So Parker, what would be your most memorable moment out on tour?
I think the most memorable moment actually kind of encompasses, or you guys will remember this vividly, to the iconic Superstorm Sandy at the East Coast. That was right before the World Series of Bowling. And needless to say, we got hit pretty hard with that storm, just like most of Staten Island and up and down, Long Island as well. Everything shut down. We had no power for 3 or 4 days. And I was literally going to withdraw the World Series of Bowling. And at the last minute, we got her, so I decided to go with no practice. I kept bowling in the tournament. Each tournament eluded and added up your number of pins. Well, I snuck in the top 24 for the big event. After 24 games of match play, I snuck in. I was 5th for the TV show for the big event. We had a 24-hour window. Now you got 10 or 12 inches of snow back east. And I was able to line up a couple of plane tickets for my wife and kids. They were, I believe, 5, 7, 8 at the time, but old enough to remember. They came out to the TV show, and fortunately, I won all 4 games and bowling Jason Belmonte for the title, and coveted walking away with the check-in trophy. That would be the most memorable time that I've ever had on the PBA tour.
I remember that.
You know what? Almost every bowler has said when we've asked them that, when they won either in their hometown or with their family, it was the most memorable to them.
Definitely.
So having your family there, it must be a big thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Seems to be important.
Well, it certainly does. They basically watch what you do through the TV screen, if you're fortunate to make the show. Obviously, over the last 10 years, you can watch it everywhere on the computer screens or on your phone. But prior to that, you only really got to see the top 5 or the stepladder finals when it was on national TV. And for the fact that they were there live when everything was taking place and unfolding right in front of their eyes, I can't express it enough. There's no better moment that I will ever be gratified by on the lanes than that given moment at that time.
That's great. That's great answer.
It was, I'll just add a little bit if it's okay.
No,
No, sorry.
please do. Please do.
You like that? Yeah.
Okay. So he left to go to Las Vegas, and when we talk about sharing it with the kids, all 3 of them were old enough to really understand what Dad was doing and what he was accomplishing. And so we actually lost internet here at our house. So we traveled over to my father-in-law's house, to Grandpa's, so we could hook up a computer screen to the TV. So we watched the last round of match play to see if Dad would be able to make the TV show. And Justin and Brandon clearly knew what was happening. And we watched Tommy Jones's last shot, and then we watched Parker's last shot. And when that was all done, we knew that he made the TV show. I had wrapped up all 3 kids, threw them in the car to go watch the Grandpas. And, the kids being old enough to understand what he was doing was just, the memories are incredible, and we'll certainly cherish those forever.
That's great. That's awesome. We did get that snow after that 9/11
Oh,
too, right?
yeah,
Remember
it's
that?
true.
We got like a couple weeks later the snow. I'm like, it's October. Where'd the snow come from?
That's
Right?
true. Leslie, you've had some success on the lanes lately.
A little bit.
Where does your tiara live in the house? Next to Parker's trophies?
Well, you can kind of see over Parker's head in our screen right here. I've got 2 words that I love. It's dream and believe. And we're sitting right here in our kitchen. And, I had an amazing career on the collegiate scene at Wichita State. Very fortunate to have success there with Wichita State and Gordon Vatican. Trying my hand on the tour wasn't. Some great memories, had some great sets. Well, have some great moments to remember. A couple years on Team USA, and then became a mom and supported the ground tour, raising the kids. And then just about a year ago, I turned 50, so I started focusing on
50.
50. Yeah, I'm 50. I'm into that. See, now I'll tell you, we're both in our 50s. For quite some time, I could still say I was in my 40s, but nonetheless. So, 2 events, on the calendar the Ladies Senior Queens and the Golden Ladies events that were held in Las Vegas in March. So I decided to get in shape and really start focusing on my game. And I think I really feel confident that all the coaching that I had been doing over the last few years really has helped my own game. I hadn't had the time to spend on the lanes physically throwing a bowling ball as much as I would like, but everything that I was talking to the kids about was just reiterating what I wanted to accomplish in my own game. So I found some success with this new arsenal of bowling balls that my amazing brother-in-law drilled for me.
Got nothing to do with her husband getting them for her.
Well, he laid them out. I shot, oh my gosh, I think I had like 9 or 10 700s in a row in league. And I know it's league bowling, but still it was an accomplishment for me, and a couple of games, and was getting in shape. And then unfortunately this all happened and couldn't make the trips to Las Vegas. We'll look forward to when those are rescheduled. But like I said earlier, I haven't missed a spare in 5 weeks. So I think that's still pretty good.
Very good.
That's awesome. And again, your kids get to see it, and so now you get to show up in front of the kids.
Yeah,
How cool is that?
For sure.
Yeah, and it's really neat. For so long, they've been encouraging me, and I have to be honest, Brandon has been pushing me to go bowl one more tournament. I bowled our local county senior event and finished second, bowled for the title, and bowled another event and came second. So I love them pushing me and supporting me, and Parker's endless support just continues. So he was the one in January who said, okay, I've got your plane ticket, I'm sending in your entries, and you're going to bowl. So that was fun.
Done.
We'll just have to wait until they're rescheduled now.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully soon. Hey, Parker, so since it's about within the last 10 years that the rule changes to Team USA, and then of course selecting players, the professionals having the opportunity to bowl on Team USA, and you've had the opportunity to put on that jersey, a totally different experience than bowling on tour. What does putting on that jersey feel like to you?
Yeah, I'll tell you, looking at some of the things that I've been very fortunate to accomplish on the lanes, nothing really compares to putting on the red, white, and blue and representing your country, knowing that you have everybody else behind you. And when I say that, not just the 3 members on your team at that moment with the coach, the men's or the ladies side, but everybody else that's in the bowling world that represents USA. They all want to see you win, because every country, bluntly, they're out there for themselves. They want to win just as bad as the next one. And a few years ago, I had the fortunate pleasure of bowling a gentleman named Joe Kayak from Canada for the overall championship in the culmination of the events, the all events portion of the tournament. And we bowled the best of a 3-game match, knowing that I needed a strike to shut him out on the last ball. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, that was probably more nerve-wracking than any other strike that I've ever thrown throughout my career. It was unbelievable, the feeling that was inside of me.
Leslie, did you tee him up? Did you give him good advice for putting on that jersey since you had the opportunity to do it first?
Yeah. A piece of cake, just like every other shot you've thrown.
Bowling, we've been talking about this last week with different players. Bowling as a team is a completely different game than bowling for yourself. And there's no better teammate than having Parker on my team. But when you're bowling on tour, you're bowling for yourself. So you alluded to it, but how do you get to that moment where, hey team, let's make this happen, and we're bowling together? Because I don't think it doesn't naturally come, because you're not used to bowling in that atmosphere.
You mean for the Team USA or just any team?
Team USA in particular, but really every team.
Well, I mean, the people, respectfully so, whether it's the men, the ladies, or even the kids, because we have Junior Team USA and the other things that are coincided with that. Your accolades that you've done, your accomplishments on the lanes are one thing, but qualifying and earning a spot on the actual team are another. And you have to look left and you look right as well and go, the other people that are here representing Team USA are here because they belong here. And I can trust them as much as I know they can trust me. So regardless of who we're with, I'm going to look at all of them, regardless of age or whether they're a man or a lady. I'm going to give them total props at that moment in time. Chances are anybody on that team can throw the shot when needed.
I'm going to pull a Naz question since she wasn't ready to ask. So, Coach Leslie, Coach Parker, people are home, quarantined, not bowling. Best piece of advice that you can give getting prepared to come back to the lanes when the time comes while you're home cooped up?
Are they frozen? Oh, no, they didn't.
No, they got it.
Well, the best piece of advice that I can give many of our junior bowlers right now, youth bowlers all across the country, is definitely get out and either walk, run, ride a bike, stay active. You know, a lot of the kids are really active on technology, be it their phone or their computer, which can be great to connect with your friends socially.
We know their thumbs work.
But I think it's important to keep your physically fit. And join us in a Get Moving challenge we're starting on Monday with Girl Bowler on Facebook. You know, staying physically active and staying physically fit, keeping our core stronger, be it through planks, push-ups, pushes, but just getting out walking, riding a bike, or running any type of physical activity is definitely going to keep the kids in tune and keep them fit, so that when bowling centers are ready to open up and we're ready for the lanes again, they're ready to go.
Perfect.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mama Jane is watching.
I saw that
And Mama Jane, I love you too, and I miss you. And she's making sure that we know that Dougie is her favorite right-handed and Parker is her favorite left-handed bowler.
Boy, it's a good thing I didn't go right-handed.
Yeah, you're competing with Doug is going to be a problem. I know that
could have
one.
been tough.
Yeah.
And speaking of mom, your biggest cheerleader, Parker, was your mom.
Absolutely. I was going to
And
bring that up.
she really was a gem. I loved her dearly. Loved during when we had the events at Carolier. She was one of the first persons you'd see selling raffle tickets, no less. Of course,
Yeah.
it was always about someone else and not about her. Well, she's certainly missed too.
She is.
Lots of good stories.
She moved down to Florida. She retired and moved to Florida. She lives about 5 or 6 minutes from my sister right now in the West Palm Beach area. She's actually doing okay. Her back gets the best of her from time to time. It's not like she's gonna walk or run anywhere too far, but she's doing pretty good. And I'm gonna knock on wood when I say that, especially with what's going on around the world right now. But she's enjoying her time down there. She certainly enjoys the heat. My goodness, she's done with the cold, folks. So I'll say, we do it all the time, but she comes up here. She tries to make her visits up here when the weather is nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you go south. So please give her a big hug and a kiss.
Yeah, definitely. Miss that lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
we will.
Oh.
Well, thanks. I'll make sure I send that out. She misses being a part of you guys too. So.
First you have to wait until you can hug and kiss, and then you can get
Air hugs.
Yeah.
So, Parker, going back to when you were young, if you, I'm going to take a shot here, and you could say, you don't have to agree, but I'm going to say that you patterned your game after these three guys. I'm just going to take a shot here because I watched you bowl from when you first came on tour. So I'm going to say you had the skills of Earl Anthony. You had the style of my boyhood idol, Johnny Petraglia. And you had the left-handed power of Dave Davis. What do you think about that analogy? Are those three guys that you maybe looked up to?
Well, I like your thought process there. As a young man growing up, I will say this, that what left-hander could not look up to Earl Anthony? I mean, he was the man the myth, the legend, everything that he did. His accomplishments speak volumes, and may he rest in peace, but his resume was impeccable. You know, when you look at all of that. Then the summer that I turned 17, I had the fortunate pleasure of meeting Dave Davis. My mom had taken me down there. Dave and his wife, Joanne, were basically, they formulated my game, make it in what it is to today. And after about 8 months to a year of working on my game, I met this other guy that kind of grew up probably right around the corner of you guys in Staten Island, some guy named Mark Roth.
Over the Giddy Gang.
He told me.
Oh, wow. All right. We went there.
He told me something about spares that a good bowler, a very good bowler in our area, Charlie Del Plato, told me 3 years prior to. But I didn't want to listen to Charlie because being a young punk, and I'll say it bluntly, believe it or not, I must have been at that point. I said, what could Charlie know? Well, when Roth tells you that, if you've got any brains at all, you're at least going to shut up and listen for the present moment. And it made my spare game become a lot better overnight. And Johnny, I mean, Johnny's power, even to this day, Johnny can hook the ball more than most, especially for the fact that the guy is 73 now.
Right.
But his power that he could possess, his ball would go through the pins. And the things that he taught me what to look for out on the lanes, the three of them collectively allowed me to become the bowler that I am today. And I haven't shied away from that. I'm going to tell you honestly, all three of them together, I give nothing but kudos to for allowing me to be the player that I am.
You nailed it, Joe.
Yeah, I didn't have the Mark Roth piece, but that's great. If there's one guy I'm going to miss, it's another Brooklyn guy I missed, but that's okay. That's okay. That's a good thank you.
I sometimes I wonder how your brain works, Joe.
What?
It's great.
Well, I like the old school stuff. I'm just an old school kind of guy, and the Brooklyn connections with Johnny and with Mark Roth and all that. You know what? One time I'm in Maple Lanes having lunch at the counter. I had to be about 10 years old, and I see this big tall guy come walking through the door. I'm like, that's Dave Davis. Dave Davis came in to see Johnny and his dad. I think they were bowling at the Garden then, and he didn't make the show. And he came in and he was hanging out with the guys. I'm like, I'm eating lunch and Dave Davis is here. I see Johnny Petraglia all the time, and I love him. But this is Dave Davis. He's on TV. He's in Maple Lane. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
But things don't change. We still see Johnny on.
And we still see Johnny. Yeah, we still see Johnny a lot. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Making his rounds.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Thank you.
You know, we really appreciate you guys taking the time and joining us today, getting a little break from your kids. Thank you for joining us. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Keep on keeping on. You know, we're gonna get back at this and get everybody back here at the bowling center, and we're gonna have a big reunion.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Let's go have a couple big reunions, especially. I know the kids are chomping at the bit to get on the lanes, and so I'm sure you guys are too. So, what's the first thing you're looking forward to after all this is over? Is it bowling, or it's got to be something? The two of you.
What are we looking forward to?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, for us personally, and you know, Frank, you've been to our house before. We are in the process right now, believe it or not, through the midst of everything going on. We're in the process of selling our home in about 2 weeks and moving to the other side of Jackson. So for us, the timing couldn't be more, let's say, on the right side for trying to get out of one home and go into another one. But like anybody, we are sincerely looking forward to hitting the lanes sometime very, very soon.
Yeah.
We're going to cross our fingers. Everybody stays safe and healthy until that time comes. But when they allow the doors to be open, take it easy, folks. Don't jump in there right away, 20 games the first day. But, 3 or 4 games the first day, and then come back, work your way back up, and you're going to find out that lifelong friendships are still going to be there, and all the happy times are just around the corner.
You know, and it's funny that you say friendships, and I think in some cases are probably even better than they were before, because people are home, they're connecting via Zoom, FaceTime. You're thinking about other people. I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're cooped up at home. Connecting with people, that couldn't be far from the truth. So. And now nobody has an excuse not to pack up their room.
Right.
What's the best excuse you've gotten so far from them about not doing something?
Not wanting to get up. We don't have school, so why do we have to get up at 6 or 7 o'clock?
We won't say who it is, but he decided not to get up until about 1 o'clock this afternoon because why do I need to get up?
Wow.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Which one it was, other than the fact he's the oldest child in the house.
We won't give him up. Poor Justin.
Yeah.
I can't. Wow. I can't.
No.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck on the move, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, good luck.
Stay safe.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Frankie, I have one last request.
Yeah, what you got?
Frankie, so we've been doing cooking in the kitchen with the Bones. So we would love for you to share one of your recipes that we can try.
Absolutely. I just, absolutely. I'm in. I got a few of them. You know, before I came here, I actually prepped dinner tonight because I would only have so much to do. Absolutely. I would love to do that.
Nice.
Okay.
So
Thanks for having us. You guys have a great day.
what time do you guys do that?
What's that?
What time do you guys do that?
Well, we've just kind of been randomly going on in the evening times cooking. Sydney did dessert last week. Justin did chicken fettuccine Alfredo. Brandon, well, he wanted to do crepes, and then we tried a beef and broccoli dish. So
Yeah,
we're just
Parker boiled water.
yeah.
That's what I do. You're good.
All right. Pictures and recipes coming your way. All right. We'll stay tuned, and we'll see you soon, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
They are.
Great
good.
family.
They were good.
Great family.
I know we struggled a little bit with the sound there, and we appreciate everybody hanging in
Hanging
there
in,
with us.
right.
Yeah, sound was a little choppy.
A little choppy in and out. So you know what? You could pull. There's lots you could pull from there. So
Yeah.
Thank you guys. You guys are great. And we really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah.
You know, there was a theme the last couple of interviews. Mike Alby's name keeps coming
Yeah,
up.
Michael, yeah.
And the funny part, Mike's going to be joining us next Saturday for Pro Bowler Hall of Fame
Hall of Fame Saturday. Yep.
And I mean, if you want stories,
Yeah.
that guy's got a lot of stories. And he's in the business. He's got he owns a bowling center.
Yes.
So there's a lot happening in
Yeah.
Mike's world. So we'll talk to him next Saturday. That'd be great.
Saturday afternoon
And
stories.
I think we
on
have to we might have to go back and think about who kept mentioning his name.
Yeah.
And start poking him a little bit.
Yeah, I think it wasn't Bob Learn. I think Bob Learn or Leto, one of them did.
Yeah.
And then Parker and there might have been one other pro that mentioned his name. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, he's come up a lot.
He's
come up a lot.
another great guy and anher great ambassador for our sport.
Absolutely
Definitely.
is.
You know, and I love the family affair thing. If you watch anything that Parker and Leslie do, the kids are always around. They're involved. They're bowling. They bowled here.
Yeah, sure.
And they really had the talent. And amongst all of them, funny, it seemed Sydney didn't want to bowl, wanted to bowl.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
It's
She's some bowler.
and she is, and it's fun to watch all three of them, or individually, and then cheering each other on.
Yeah.
And then with their group of friends, we've got our youth bowlers that go and bowl together with them.
Yep.
It's a great thing. So thank you guys, and thank you for all that you guys do for youth bowling and bowling in general.
Absolutely.
Especially in this area, there's so many opportunities because of people like them.
Yeah. Like the ball. That's right.
You know, so Joe, you're gonna today's meme of the day.
Oh, I can't wait for this
I
one.
like this one. This is a Joe meme of the day.
I have to keep it clean though, because we know in the movie he cursed. I
Yeah,
can't do
you
that.
can keep it clean, but
It's a family show.
Yeah, that's relative.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, you feeling strong? Yeah, go ahead. Now go home and get your freaking face mask. Billy Bats.
Look at Vito. That's Vito Picone, right?
Yes, that's Vito Picone. Yeah, a young Vito Picone back there.
The one and only.
That was about 30 years ago.
Staten Island's own.
Yep, Little Star, 1964.
Great movie.
Yeah.
That was a
That's
great
funny.
movie.
When you shared that, I mean that's perfect.
Oh, we had to have that today. Come on, it goes hand in hand.
It does. And you know we started. Well, we had Tuesday the show about nothing.
Yeah.
There was a lot happening that day. Then after that, the diffuser came out. And,
Still here.
It's still here because apparently our stress levels were high.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
yesterday,
look how nice things are now.
Yes,
They're
it's
good.
wonderful.
Good.
Nice and relaxed.
Yeah, it's nice
We're
and
relaxed.
relaxed. You guys did great that day. You ad-libbed everything. Here's a little tidbit for you. Jackie Gleason, the honeymooners, never used a cue card. Everything he did was ad-lib.
I believe that.
You did great. Your guest didn't show up. He sent you pictures of whatever. Was it a cheetah, a leopard he sent?
Leopards and
Oh,
ostriches.
yeah,
and-
right.
I'm like, where's the guy? I hope he's not in the cage with the leopard.
Yeah,
because it
and
didn't
last
end up good for
night
him.
I watched the Siegfried and Roy,
Oh yes, I slipped
special
around
that
a
was
little
on.
bit of that, yeah.
and
Some
it was
dangerous stuff.
pretty
Yeah,
interesting
that's some dangerous
about that
stuff.
whole story that
Yeah.
they felt that maybe he was to blame for what happened,
Yeah.
and it was interesting to watch, just their whole backstory
Yeah.
and their relationship with each other. But it was,
Yeah.
Kenny Mitchell did not get Carol Baskin.
Okay. All right.
Freddie about Tiger.
Good.
Tiger King fans. He's good. He's
Okay,
in good
good.
shape.
Thank
Well,
God.
just
hopefully
couldn't
he's
connect.
going to be here eventually.
Yeah, we will listen. We'll get him on.
All right. Good.
You
We
want
might
to
have to pull some Coors Lights out. I mean, that might get Kenny here
You
faster.
gotta do the-
before we do the funny things at the end.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I was gonna. Yeah, go for it. So, Naz, what's going on? We got some
Yeah.
extra stuff. I have to say, if
We got
anybody
some-
saw what's happening here now with our new little setup, it's a little different. I've got wires in different places.
Yeah.
I've got a keyboard. I'm not sure what
Well,
I'm
look how
doing
that,
here.
but nobody can see any of
No,
that.
there's a lot of clutter
But you can
today.
see, we have some boxes here in front of us, and a couple of people who are involved in nursing homes on Staten Island reached out to me a couple weeks ago about, their concern not only for the residents but for their staff and the lack of PPE or their protection equipment and or lack of it. And I guess it hit me personally because my mom volunteers at a nursing home on Staten Island, and obviously as soon as things started to go down, we told her she was not allowed to go anymore, which she's thrilled, I might say.
What is grandma going to do?
But
She went back
she's
inside.
inside. But speaking to some of the staff there, it was easy for them to convey and easy for me to feel their fear for their own health, their family's health, and for the residents there. So I spoke to Frankie and I said, what do you think we can do?
Another great idea that gets people in trouble.
Nobody's in trouble.
No,
We're
I'm
helping
kidding. I'm
people.
funny.
And obviously, coming to light the last couple of days, how many people we've lost in nursing homes. And unfortunately, this was something that was seen coming down the pike, but it was almost, I guess, unavoidable. It's sad. And but we were able to order from cove.care, cov.care, some masks. I spoke to Aaron there, and he was extremely helpful and stayed on top of it. And even when planes didn't arrive and ships didn't get where they were supposed to go, and they had problems with customs, he hand-delivered these to me this morning, and we are going to see that they are sent out to nursing homes. That's where we're starting. On Staten Island. They are the N95 masks, and they are supposed to be top-of-the-line masks that are needed. If you know of anybody in healthcare that is working in a place that might need these, please reach out to me. This is something that's important, and I have to thank, again, the Wilkinson family and the Reb Wilkinson Foundation for their extremely generous contribution to this. And, hopefully maybe we save a life or two. And that is no price you can put on that.
Yeah, and for us, we really would love to get the N95s, which is the important piece. These are not to be used by people walking
Yes,
around the streets.
if you're
These are
yes.
professionals.
This is for those in the front lines that need some help. We really would like to put them in the hands of those that don't have. It's really more important for those that don't have access to funding and the masks.
Yes.
The nursing homes come to light first because they're low on in some cases they're low on the totem pole. But if you do know of someone that can use some help, to Naz's point, please let us know as soon as you can. This is just something that, as a foundation, which we're all involved in through the events that we do, our golf outing, our bowl-a-thons, that we can allows us to be able to do stuff like this. So, I mean, we'd love a contribution to help support the effort.
That would be great.
But really, it's more important if we can get them in the hands of
Correct. So if you know of, like Frankie said, somebody in a nursing home setting or in a healthcare setting that might be in need of these, please reach out to us and let us know, and we'd like to put them directly in their hands.
Yeah, thanks, Naz, for you know how to spend money, you know how to get people in trouble. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not even
gonna bring up the other thing about the food, so we'll talk about that another time.
It's funny about the food. So last night Naz and I got tagged on Facebook, and here she is, Linda Schott. She made sure to cook dinner. She made an Italian dinner and make her feel like she was home. And she yelled at us, "We're not allowed to talk about food anymore. Stick to bowling because it's making her hungry," which is what our point is. So we're glad that works, and you're listening, and we can deliver some sort of.
You guys again. If you scroll back, she yelled at you again.
She did yell at us again.
Yeah.
Producer Liz, what she said something to the effect of.
Here we go back to food again.
We're back to food again.
Back
Yes,
to food again.
we can't just talk just bowling. I mean, we're well-rounded. Joe, we're well-rounded here.
Oh, this is a show about everything.
We do talk diffusing also, so
that's right. Yep.
we try to keep it all good.
Keep it real.
We try to keep it.
That's
what we're doing, Joe.
Keeping it real.
We're keeping it real.
Live from Rabs.
Keeping it real. There's our tagline.
That's the tagline. This is the anti-fake news. This is the real deal.
And a lot of times you hear it here first.
That's breaking news.
You don't understand. Joe, some people really don't understand.
No, listen,
it happens.
It happens. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Hey, it's either coming from Studio 710 on Monday nights, or it's coming from this table right here every day of the week.
And
breaking news.
And ratings bonanza.
Ratings bonanza. That's
ratings
right.
bonanza. Yep. And we have all the networks are they're getting.
Oh, I know firsthand. The networks are worried. Yes, they are.
The networks are worried. We're on at a good time because we're kind of, for New Yorkers, we're on in the middle of
the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the General Hospital doesn't. Alexa's talking to us. I don't know what she's trying to tell us. Obviously, she picked up something. Yeah. General Hospital's running out of content. That's going to be. It's a real life problem. It's a real problem for some of the shows. Yeah. So to your point, what you've been talking about, filling time has got to be a concern.
Oh yeah.
But we're on at this time that the governor spoke already. I mean, you can only listen to so much. Yeah. And if he keeps fighting and arguing with people,
it's getting crazy.
And then
now.
We're in between. Then the president and his team come on later. So
right.
we're at a good time.
Yeah. You're right in the middle of it.
Right after De Blasio and Cuomo and Murphy.
Oh yeah, because now Murphy is important.
Murphy comes right.
And we're not talking politics. We're just talking about time.
Right.
Yes.
And so it's a good time. We don't compete with the prices, right?
No.
Well, that's prices. You have to say.
We would lose.
Prices right.
Joe, we've had these magazines on the table, and
we have.
I always laugh about them. I pulled these out. This is from August '93. We didn't get to show Parker.
Yeah.
But Leslie, if you're watching, man, this caricature of your husband.
Yeah, that's.
Oof.
Yeah, that's.
Hold it up, Joe.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if we can get it.
No, I'm gonna go up to the camera.
I don't want to get up. I'm a little lazy.
We could show this off.
To tell you the truth, I'm a little lazy right now.
And because of
and you're younger than me. So
and because of little obstacles here, we have to go. Can we zoom? Can we get out? Can we see? Oh, there he is.
There it is.
There's Parker. How
like
good is that?
Looks like my high school graduation picture.
This is the Bowler's Journal, August of '93. All American
way out of high school by now.
Oh, 93.
Wow.
And then look at the hair on some of them.
Yeah.
That was a very good year.
Yeah,
our good friend Wendy McPherson. Now
Wendy
I got to send this to her because that hair is just.
Tish Johnson, Walter Ray, and of course Amaletto from Barquisimeto. He's on here too.
Who was here last week with us?
Yes, that's right.
Yep. Well, hey, so go back to Tuesday in the show about nothing. We started talking about animals because, Ken sent us videos.
The
and
cheetah, the leopard, whatever.
We have a new segment, Joe.
Yes.
We have the meme of the day, and now we have pets of the day.
Yes.
And not just pictures. People are stepping it up.
We're getting cutting edge here. We're becoming cutting edge.
We're cutting edge. So now the competing zoo for the Staten Island Zoo here on Staten Island is the Rourke Family Zoo.
Yes.
And I joke about it, but you guys have no idea. You're going to get another look at because it works, and I have received other submissions for pets of the day, and we will include them before. And Joe, we were extended.
Yes. I
To May
heard.
15th.
To May 15th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's amazing for a TV show.
We got picked up after our first.
After 25 episodes, we got picked up.
General Hospital, look out. They're coming to get you.
Some people don't even get picked up after after premieres. They just get canned.
Yeah, they get canned.
Nobody's canning us.
No.
So here we have another submission from the Rourke Family Zoo, and I think there needs to be some admission. Kevin,
still there.
we got to monetize this somehow. But Kevin, this is Coco and Zulu, the guinea pigs. And it's perfectly timed because, Joe, there's a shout out to you.
Yes, I know.
So watch this intensely.
Yes.
This is in the Rourke residence. We have Kevin as the commentator and Nicole and Ryan.
All right, here we are. The pig races. Zola, the favorite, 1 to 5. Coco, the brown and white one. Long shot, 21. We're actually got to use this a little bit of a handicap. We're going to have to move Coco up a little.
And it goes back to the betting yesterday. We're not talking about the betting.
All right. Are we ready?
Ready.
And they're off. Let's see what we have. Here comes Zola.
Yeah, well.
Calls the jockey. Zola takes the lead. Big lead. Zola. Coming. The winner. These are the Italian pigs, by the way. We don't want to say their real names because we might insult Joe Cal's heritage.
Thank you.
The winner by a lot is Zola.
Thank you.
And if you noticed,
The other one didn't even move.
Coco hasn't even moved.
Coco never got out of the gate, as they like to say.
Even with the handicap.
Even with the handicap, never got out of the gate. That was like Secretariat in 1973 by 31.
Oh, that's the best.
Wow. Should we say what we've now dubbed the, we're going to call them the Animal Kingdom, the Rourke family? We've now dubbed the Rourke household the Animal Kingdom of Staten Island.
There it is.
And I'm sure there are others that can compete.
Yeah, well, come on, let's see.
Yeah.
So
send us in your videos, your pictures.
Is it Zulu or Zolo?
I think
Zulu.
What,
Zola? The guinea pig. And Coco. Zula and
Coco
Coco are our pets of the day.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Rourkes for sharing that.
Yes.
That is great. And he says they're almost out of pets.
Still calling the Animal Kingdom no matter what. So.
We've had other submissions that we're going to share, but it was timely because Joe was here. He called Joe out.
Yeah, thank you.
And we talked about betting yesterday.
Yes.
You know, the only thing...
Zola.
What would have made that video better, and I told Kevin this earlier today when I got that, if they were bowling.
Yeah, that would.
The guinea pigs were actually going to bowl, so they might we get some toilet paper rolls. Yeah. We should have plenty of that.
Give him enough time, he might be able to teach them. You never know, Kevin. You got some time on your hands now. Teach them how to bowl.
Oh, that's
why not?
Great.
And I noticed our friend Johnny Wilders mentioned when they were commenting, one of the earlier comments when I talked about flagging the 5-pin in Vegas. John said we were teammates. Yes, I do remember, John. We were teammates.
You know, Joe, one of the things that happens at nationals, which is not something culturally bowling. It doesn't happen here.
Right.
But when you leave a 5-pin, you know, all the other teams they put their hands up.
Oh yeah.
It's not something that we do here.
Yeah.
Right.
I never saw that before until I was at nationals.
Yeah.
And I wasn't bowling that squad, but I watched it. And I turned around and said, "What is going on?"
I noticed that.
And they said, "Well, that's what they do when somebody leaves a 5-pin."
Yeah, I don't even want to know what they do when you miss it.
No, they just do one hand.
Well, because then if you miss it, then you got to buy a round of drinks.
Yeah, well, twice in nationals, not once, twice.
Last year, was it Syracuse when we maybe it was Syracuse. We bowled against a group. They were great. I have to say, that experience is like no other. You get to meet people from around the country, in some cases around the world that are everybody, and it's all about bowling.
Yes.
And you compete. I don't care how hard or easy the lanes are. Do we want to bowl good? Yeah, you want to make,
of course.
but it's really not about that.
It's about the experience.
The whole experience. And sadly,
the lanes are not easy.
The event's been moved to September because of all this is going on. As us New Yorkers would say, right? All this shit going on. I said it.
Yeah, there you go.
So moved to the fall, which, hey, great. I love going to Reno for the event.
Yeah.
But last year we bowled against this group, and one guy missed a lot of 5 pins.
Oh yeah.
And it turned into shots.
Yeah.
This wasn't beer. It turned into shots.
Yeah.
And by the end of the 3 games, Grandpa Jim and I opted out. We had maybe a couple of drinks because I want to bowl. I'm a bowl, but I can't drink all that time because then with Grandpa Jim we drink a lot later on.
Yeah.
So we gotta pace ourselves.
But,
So when we're bowling,
Yeah.
Poor guy was almost on the floor.
Yeah.
Because of all the 5 pins.
Yeah, I know.
So he shelled all the money out, and then he was almost on the floor. Steve, his name was.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It must be the name, because when we had Steve bowl with us in Nashville, never mind. That's a different story. Well, we were episode 28
in the books.
In the books. Day 33, not in the books yet, because everybody's going to go home. I'm sorry, they already are.
They're home. We're not. We're going home.
Yes. Prepare dinner, hang out. What's on the dinner plate tonight, Joe?
Tonight, the missus is going to make some stuffed pork chops, which we bought at Novelli's, which I believe now has since you can't go in the store now. You have to call your order in and they'll deliver curbside.
Oh, really?
So I think we were on the last day. You were able to go into the store. Heidi was like, "What do you think about these?" I'm like, "Well, I think they look good." So she's going to make them tonight.
Awesome.
And what is Jill having?
Jill is probably. Jill will not be having pork chops. She's either going to ask her brother to bring home pizza while he's out and about, or maybe, Dad, can you take me to Wendy's and we'll be at the. Just a quick story on that, Liz. I'm glad you brought that up.
Jill, we need to work on Jill.
We need to,
when she's working here, we're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to. She needs to start eating a little better. But she had me go to Wendy's, and of course the missus was right. She said, "You're going to go to Wendy's now? The line with the drive-thru is going to be..." I said, "That won't be that bad."
Oh, yeah.
5:30 on Thursday. There was like 20 cars ahead of us. So which idiot waits there online with his daughter so she can get her Wendy's? This idiot right here. So, yeah, we got to do something with Jill. She's got to start eating some better food.
You're a good dad.
Sucker born every minute. Like
You're a good dad. You wouldn't do that for the boys, though.
No, hell no.
Daddy's little girl, for sure.
No way.
Naz, what's on the dinner plate for you this evening?
I made chicken cutlets last night. What did he say?
You just requested pizza. I think that was a request.
You're off the hook. You're off the hook, man. It's easy now.
And we're having pizza tonight. Guess what?
Pizza. There you go.
So the chicken cutlets, what about the chicken
I made chicken cutlets last night.
I didn't get that call.
Wow.
Well, they were there. I make them. I put it out on the counter, and whoever, I made a nice big, we always have
Are there leftovers?
big salad. There's still chicken cutlets, yes.
I love leftover chicken cutlets.
Yeah.
Liz is requesting chicken cutlets, by the way.
You know what I did find? I started using, I had always used the old-fashioned, I guess it was Progresso breadcrumbs.
Yes.
But I found these gluten-free ones.
Never mind, I'll make my own chicken cutlets.
They're not.
We don't want cardboard chicken. Is that what you're saying, Liz?
They're not so good. No, they're good. They're not. Let me rephrase that. They're not good in the air fryer with chicken cutlets. They're just really dry.
So
and I've
they
tried
need the oil. They need to be submerged in oil.
That's what I figure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to find the Chinese food. I really am feeding for Chinese food.
Michelle Durkin, and see, we're back to food. Michelle, you got a great question.
Sorry,
And
Linda.
if you go to silive.com and you check out Pam's food diary, the Chinese food the last 2 days has been the topic of discussion.
Yeah, coming back online.
I know for sure that Oriental Plaza was open last night on Richmond Avenue.
Jack Mao's opening Monday.
Jack Mao's opening Monday.
Yeah.
So you have some options. My sister-in-law and my brother ordered Chinese food last night from Oriental Plaza. And I didn't get a picture of the food. I got a picture of, the quart container. And she goes, "Oh, check this out. We thought it was duck sauce." No, it was a Mai Tai.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how I got wine. when I ordered wine
Really?
from,
They gave it to you in a box?
I think, no, they gave it to me in one of those takeout,
Really?
plastic takeout containers.
Wine?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, from Beso, I think it was.
Very strong
Very
sangria.
nice.
Oh, that was that strong
That was
thing.
very
Oh, it
strong
was.
sangria.
Oh, was
Really?
it? Was it premium? Because
Oh, it was.
Never
Have to make
stopped
a stop.
Woo, it's still. I still got some left. I'm metering it out every day. I take a little.
You have to ask Frankie what he's having.
So,
for
but
Yeah, I'm getting to him.
Venom.
Venom.
We went through this.
It's Venom.
I say it different every time. Venom.
Yeah, I know.
When Massimo was on the show, if you follow him at all, he actually has little bottles. And so they bottled cocktails and wine,
Yes.
which is what they're going to do for the wine tasting thing.
Right. Did you register for that?
I didn't get
see
the information yet.
Yeah, I didn't get it
Yeah,
either.
they're working on it, so they're going to send it out.
I'm going to jump on Kevin's. Kevin said, sounds like Frankie wants you to ask him what's for dinner tonight.
Yes, he
So what
actually
is for
does,
dinner
and we're
tonight?
getting that.
You really didn't have to.
We're going to ask anyway.
Well, he said
What's
he
on
already
with it?
prepped it. You already prepped.
Yeah, so
Hardly.
short ribs are on the menu.
There you go.
So I've got
So
all.
where were you getting your meat from?
So, this is a commercial,
Hillside?
not paid. Our friends at Hillside Market on Richmond Road. I mean, they're awesome. We call, they deliver.
Nice.
If you want to, I mean, for all of our viewers out there, tell them the Wilkinson family sent them your way. He loves us, and they're great. The quality of the food is great.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
So we've been getting some meat from there.
Nice.
And so the short ribs, he doesn't usually have beef short ribs. He ordered them and got them for us.
Oh,
So, I
special
mean,
order.
any good butcher will do that for you. Give them
Yes.
advance notice. And,
Very nice.
so we're
Yeah,
bougie,
awesome.
she says.
Somebody asked about the cases in front of us. Your friend Mike Hannington is asking, so I don't know if you
They are not cases of wine, and so Mike, no, the cases of wine got delivered to my house,
Oh,
and
yeah.
as yours did too. This is the second day. Mike's late to the party again.
I don't know, Mike. Gotta
is he
get
in-
here
is he in
early.
You gotta get here on time. You
Time,
missed
is
the
he in a time zone?
We're over our time today, and thank you for all sticking around. But no, Mike, these are N95 masks that we were able to get through our foundation that we're going to be donating in our community. So we're asking our friends and family if you do know of an organization or a healthcare group that could use masks and materials to let us know. The first step are our nursing homes that we've spoken to that really need the
Yes.
equipment first.
Yes.
I can't speak. Jesus
That's
Christ.
okay. You know what? 'Cause you're missing your vaporizer.
diffuser.
So anyway,
You're missing your vaporizer.
so that's what the boxes are. Golf got in your way. Real nice. So he's in sunny Florida and golf.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks
That's
a lot.
sore subject for some
Thanks.
of us up here.
I hope you triple bogey the next hole. Oh, yeah.
So Frank, so you're having short ribs.
Short.
All right.
And roasted beets.
Nice.
Oh, I got some nice big beets in my last box.
Yeah.
In the Misfits box, if anybody's interested, and we get them delivered weekly.
Very nice.
And it's
My box is I got a note is a little delayed, which is okay. So I don't know what day I'll get it. But yeah, a couple of the beets are from there, and then the other beets, they're big ones too. We got them. Hillside was able to had them, and so we've got beets now. I'm looking forward to dinner.
Nice.
So if you
Kevin,
follow me, you'll see the pictures because I always share those along with my wine.
Gave Massimo a shout out there. He said today, thanks Massimo. He actually sent my firehouse food today, and the guy said it was great.
Oh, the day he was on the show.
He's right.
Oh,
He's
okay.
right over. Kevin's in the house on Broad
Yes,
Street.
he's on Broad Street,
and
right?
he's
Yeah.
right around
Right
the corner
yeah.
from him.
Yeah.
Captain Rourke.
Very
Well,
nice.
I mean, we were over our time, and you're still here with us, and we had a
Yeah.
lot to talk about today. The Bones were awesome, and thank you,
Yes, they were.
Leslie and Parker,
They
for
were
joining us.
Yeah.
The next Pro Bowl is Saturday. We said it, but next Saturday we've got our friend Mike Olby.
Mike Olby.
Can't wait.
Tomorrow is Sunday. We've got a whole slew of guests for the whole week, and we're going to talk about everything: bowling, food, what's happening here on Staten Island, in your community, business. We've got a lot of things to cover, and we hope that you'll join us. So please continue to like and share our videos. If you're watching us on YouTube, Naz, we got to subscribe.
Subscribe.
We want you to, if you like our page, you'll get the little notification that reminds you that, hey,
Yes.
we're here.
Yes.
We're alive and well.
We are
inside the
we are
studio.
here.
Naz,
Thank you, Joe, for joining us. We love when
Hi.
Joe is here.
Thank
We
you.
do love
It's
when Joe
my-
is here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I look forward to Saturdays. At least I know what day of the week it is when I have to come here. It's Saturday. So it's So anytime. I love it. It's great.
You could join us any day you would like.
Yeah, maybe I'll start playing hooky from ABC.
Hey,
We don't want anybody not getting a
I
paycheck.
know,
So.
they're getting on my nerves. I've been there too long.
Oh, Joe. Hey, you know, one of the things that we remind people about what we do here, Naz.
That was awesome.
We'll see you tomorrow, 2:00 right here. We'll see you then.
Ciao,
Bye-bye.
baby. See ya.